All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition. Normally, you see us in the morning, but we make it work because at the end of the day, when we have special guests on our show, like we do with Tara, it is their show, and we're going to make it work how we make it work. So, welcome to an
Thank you.
evening edition of the We Outside live cast. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce our guest, just a quick little reminder for you if y'all are tuning in for the first time or if you're retuning in, we are the We Outside Livecast. My co-host Discreet, who is over in England, he's sleeping right now because it's 6 hours ahead from where you and I are, respectively, Tara.
Love that.
But this is a platform where we literally just get on and have a conversation. Anybody that's been out here with us before knows that this is not scripted. We're just going to talk. That's what it's going to be. So, without further ado, I would like to take the time to introduce our guest. We have Tara joining with us today of FBA. We're going to talk a lot about that because right now it is known as Famous by Association. But in the process of some changes and things in the background there. So we'll talk about that. And I love what you guys got going on with that, respectively, as well. But Tara is originally from Long Island, my original neck of the woods, just across the Long Island Sound, where I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We had the pleasure and I had the privilege of getting to meet you and Jerry on set and being a part.
That was cool.
It was really cool. It was really cool. And what I really appreciate, especially from being the Northeast, like you just know when you hook up with somebody from your area, especially the Northeast, because we're a little bit of a different breed, right?
Yeah. I can tell right away by your outfit. I'm like, he's got to be from not here.
So you're in fashion, you're in art, you help manage, you do a lot of things just like me. You and Jerry are serial entrepreneurs just like me. So I very much respect and appreciate that about you guys because while I know a little bit of your story, I know enough to know that you guys have worked your asses off to achieve what you guys have achieved. And it's not easy. This entrepreneurship journey is not for the faint at heart by any means, in any way, shape, or form. Some really cool things have happened for you in your career as well. We're very much going to be talking about that as well. So for a second, I'm going to step back real quick. Tara, at this point, what we always like to do is we like to turn it over to you, and you take the time to let the audience and the outsiders joining us out here this evening, let them know who you are in your own words, and we'll just flow from there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to describe like how I view myself because I'm just like, I really, when I come down to it, I think I'm a visionary. It's like a blessing and a curse because I see, I'm inspired. I have an imagination. I like anything can be creative. Like the glass is always half full to me. The sun's always going to come out tomorrow. And like, I have legs that walk and like my heart's beating and my family's okay. So like wherever the wind takes me, really, I'm a dreamer.
Man, I'm right there with you. I mean, when my wife and I started our entrepreneur journey after working, myself anyways, damn near 20 plus years in the corporate world. And that was always in me, right? And I love the word that you used, visionary, because I very much consider myself the same. I can connect dots that other people can't. I have the faith, maybe, if you will, that other people can't, because we have the belief in ourselves, right? And that's a big part of this journey. Ultimately as well. So let's kind of just start there. Where did this journey that you're on starting for? Let's go specifically with, honestly, wherever you want to start. We can start with fashion. We can wherever you want to start, because that's one of the things that I came to know about you very quickly, and getting to have the conversations that I did with you on set that day when I got to meet you and Jerry.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so I mean, I never really knew what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do. So from there, I kind of just was like going through life. And then Jerry was always a music artist, right? Mm-hmm. So he was always like the dopest ever. And I was just, the supportive girlfriend cheering for him in the front row. And then around 2016, we came together, and he had told me that Macklemore's girlfriend at the time was his manager. And like our whole mind switched because I was like, I never even thought to be, on the other side of it. And Jerry's so versed and like, he knows so much about the industry. So he just taught me everything he knows. He would tell me what to say in the phone calls. He would tell me what to say in the emails. And he would say, you know, manage me. And I would be like, when there's something to manage, like I'll do whatever you need me to do, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I started, so I Googled how to be a music manager. And it was all these steps. And then the last step was find an artist that you really believe in and take all those steps and go, you know, fulfill them. And I had the last step already because I was like, oh my God, if I could have the reins, if Jerry can allow me the reins of his creativeness in like my direction, even if it was crazy, which it was, because at the time I wanted to print CDs up in 2016. So CDs have been like long gone for a very long time. And half the people didn't even have like CD players like in their car, but that was the vision. And he went with me on it. And in that time, he just kept writing in these songs and it was crazy. And I would just always love to, like, as a hobby, like paint, you know, repurpose things or upcycle or especially fashion. And then I would take his lyrics and I would like write out like, you know, a line, and it would be like so inspiring. It like had a whole new meaning when I would write his words. Cause as much as I could sing along to it, I was like, wow, this is like poem. Like, this is like the world needs to, like, this is like messages for the world. So I would just kind of do that as like a side hobby thing. And then, I don't know, it's just really crazy how things all like wind up making sense, you know, at the end. And then I have all this access and all this, you know, ability to reach out and be close to these artists, you know, like literally like Tech9, like the greatest artists out there. And I have this accessibility to them. So why would I not, you know, use that? But I didn't really see that in myself. Jerry, you know, pushed me to do that. He would be like, yo, this shit's kind of dope. Like, it's not for the average. It's like, I was specifically like wanting to make custom pieces for artists, you know, and just really like, I feel like fashion, like every day when you put something on, you have the chance to like make that outfit have some sort of like impact. Like my jackets, like people will just stop me. It just causes conversation. It makes somebody feel better. It's like, it's for the ones who it's for. And then just kind of hand in hand with the music, it just kind of like the music is like, we're trying to take this shit.
And y'all are doing a good job at that, by the way.
Thank you so much. Like, that is the goal every day. That is focused like a laser, not a light bulb, Jerry always tells me. And we are focused on getting that there. And, you know, in due time, I'm able to really build my fashion business.
No, and you said a couple things there. And the first thing I want to touch on right quick is what you said there, you know, being diversified, right? How important do you feel? Because I very much know the answer to this. I mean, with you talking about upcycling and creating, I mean, my wife and I are in business together as well. So we're definitely going to talk about that. I mean, we actually, when we moved to Kansas City a couple months ago, because the last 6 or 7 years, we come from the real estate investment world and literally being our own constructor, our own GCs. My wife is the project manager and designer. I think you guys get along beautifully, honestly. So next time y'all are in KC, we're definitely gonna have to try and link up if schedules allow. And you know, when we got to here to KC about 4 months ago, we decided to start a custom furniture company for the exact reasons that you talked about fashion, right? You make something unique. You make something one of a kind that's just not out there. Very much like music. When it comes down to it as well. And I really have an appreciation for that because we do the same thing, upcycling. We are value driven because we know there's so many things expensive out there in the world as well. But how do you feel the diversification has allowed you to have that sustainability in life that you're ultimately looking for?
Yeah, well, it's like, it's hard for me to compartmentalize. That's what I like trying to like learn how to do, like focusing, like not getting too absorbed or like sidetracked. Like my mind races like 1,000 miles a minute sometimes. Like I could be doing, like, I'll just say something and Jerry's like, yo, you must have been having like a conversation with yourself in your head because like, what are you talking about? And it goes from subject to it's constantly. So I'm trying to compartmentalize my things that I do so that I can really be like as efficient as I possibly can instead of wasting time. Wasting 1 minute is like literally wasting $5 million. Like people don't really like look at time, how they value like money, but it's the most important. So every single minute counts. And if you could really just devote your minutes, like people like live in the day or the week or the month. It's like I live literally in the minutes. I'll be like, okay, we have like 96 minutes left that we could do this. And I go, like I set timers because I can get really caught up. I have like a, you know, I can live in the clouds for a while. I can like conjure up like just crazy ideas, you know? So it's just compartmentalizing and then like time managing that and focusing on what's the task. I love to have a list and cross things out.
I can appreciate that. It sounds like our minds work exactly alike because I'm all over the place all the time, and I need to compartmentalize, especially with having so many things just always going on. You want to always give your best, right, to what you're doing.
Yes.
But individuals such as ourselves, it's our minds, I think, sometimes work even a little faster than we can compute almost, right? So you have to control at least what you can control in order to reach those goals, whether it's time goals or executing on a project, whatever.
I love the execution. That's my, like, I love
so
executing. Even with like FBA, like it's like usually majority of the time, 99% of the time, it's Jerry's idea. And then I execute it. He's got the most amazing ideas. He's like
getting to have the conversations that I've had with him, even aside from this live cast. Very intelligent individual, as you very much are, and I picked that up from when we got to meet in Kansas City and everything that you have a hand in. You can't do all the things that you do and the way and execute on them if you don't have some level of intelligence going on as well. But you're also a very humble individual, honestly, and I picked that up when sticking on fashion for a quick second, when you had shared the story with me about when Jelly Roll wore one of your jackets to the CMAs, and you did. Like, I'm not going to put you on blast, but this really did this. I say it this way because it really hit me, because I feel that way sometimes, especially from where I grew up. I didn't come from much. My wife didn't come from much. So like, you get conditioned as an individual in a way, right? Growing up in certain scenarios or situations, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, like shit like that.
Right. Like, and you did. You're like, yo, I'm not worthy. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? I'm clearly you are. But talk to me about like what that experience was like for you, because I'm very similar in the sense that like certain things that are going on in my life right now, I'm just like, wow, like what the fuck? The people I'm starting to get on my phone just from being an asset to people. What specific to that experience? What was that experience for you when that happened? And I mean, now that jacket is sitting in the Country Music Hall of Fame right there in Nashville, Tennessee.
I know I don't even deserve that, bro.
What was that like for you? The feeling of going through that experience, to be like, holy shit, I did that, and look where it is now. That's cool. You're in the music Country Music Hall of Fame. Not many people can say that. That's fucking dope.
That. I know. You can't even really try to get in there. And like, honestly, I'd have to just first accredit it to Jerry for the idea of Jelly's jacket. Was Jerry's idea. He said, yo, we're going on tour with him. You gotta make him a jacket. And I was like, oh my God, I have to make him a jacket, but how do I make Jelly Roll a jacket? Like, he's Jelly Roll, And I hit up Bunny. She gave me like his size and stuff, and I wasn't able to find his size anywhere because I thrift all my pieces. Like, I don't go out and buy them. I thrift everything, or like like outsource it, because I want to eliminate fast fashion as much as I possibly can. So when I couldn't find a jacket for him, it was getting close to the tour. And I have a homie, Zane, who's like an incredible designer, amazing sewer, super dope artist. And we came together. I was like, let me thrift a bunch of jeans. Let me cut them up. Let me give them to Zane. He's going to sew these up for me, and we're going to get this jacket to Jelly Roll. And I mean, it was just the craziest thing, because he was so sweet when I gave it to him. And then, of course, I'm not expecting him to even fit or look good, or he might hate this, but it was just really sweet how he was like, put it in my wardrobe. It felt really special. And then we had like 4 or 5 shows on the tour. I didn't even like remember it. Like, I wasn't expecting him to wear it, And the tour ended 2 weeks later. He's like, I have a show at Bridgestone in Nashville. Come out to it. It's the last show of the tour. So we came out. And we saw him before the show backstage, just being normal Jelly Roll. And for some reason, specifically at this show, it was in Bridgestone. I don't know if you know, it's 15,000 people, sold out. It's a huge stadium. And I was like, when we go to Jelly Stuff, we have the all access passes. So I was like, I want to go all the way to the end, as far away as we like the nosebleeds. I want to see how little the stage looks. So we get all the way to the nosebleeds, and his intro comes on, and he comes out, and he's wearing it. Okay. Like, I don't even understand what happened. Like, Jerry's like, he's wearing your jacket. And as he said it, my eyes couldn't commute the fact that there was a huge, I couldn't see him. He was this big. And I have terrible eyes, but there was a huge screen behind him, blown up of him. I couldn't even see that. And then I was like, it's not mine. I didn't want to tell myself that it was, because I was like in such disbelief. And then I just fucking cried. Literally, I cried like the whole show. I was just like, oh my God, he's like wearing my jacket. Like, everyone is seeing this right now. Like, everyone saw that. Like, I was shaking. It was like the craziest. That was the craziest shit. And then it was like, after that, everyone just, I don't know, gave me props. I felt undeserving of it, because like, I was just always doing that. I was always doing it. It just happened to be like, that's my homie. And like, he actually freaking wore it. Like, oh my God, I can't even, like, there's never enough I could ever do for him for that. And then to have that happen. And then a couple months later, I'm driving, and my homie's like, DMs me, and he goes, is this your jacket? And it was a picture of it. And I was like, what is this? What's going on? And it said something about the Hall of Fame. And again, I didn't want to tell myself that like that was true. So I hit up Bunny again, my homegirl. And I said, babe, is this real? And she said, babe, it's real. And I was like, that's like an accolade or a credit. Like, you can't, I don't know. That's just really
that is hella cool. That's like, because let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in, whether you're watching it live with us or you're going to see this after the fact, Tara is an artist. You are an artist. All right. So I want to, like, you know, we always talk about people going viral with their music online. Right. And this is the way I kind of equate it, is like, that's your viral moment. Right. I think that's fair to say, because you've been doing this for so long, and then something like that happens. Right. And, you know, let's talk about that, though, because I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand that all the moments that come up to that viral moment, it's a long path. It's a long path. You go through the ups and the downs and the lessons learned. So let's talk about that path for you leading up to that, you know, kind of your viral moment as an artist, so to speak. Where did the love for fashion design and clothing come from? Is that something that just like one day you're like, hey, I'm just going to do this? Is it something that you grew up around, or you just started to develop a love for? How'd that happen for you?
I mean, as far as I can remember, I just literally always loved clothes, like, so much. Like, I don't know. I just always was in awe of clothes. I just always bought a lot of clothes, had a lot of clothes, I like also too things that don't match. So being like little, going to like preschool, I remember my mom trying to match me. And if it didn't match, I wanted it not matching. If it's like standard, I like to be like over here a little bit. So then when it comes to the jackets, like I said, it was just fun for me to do. And then being so inspired by Jerry's lyrics, that really kickstarted it, because then I had so much material to like write or paint onto the jackets. And yeah, man, it's just it's literally crazy. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess from when I'm little. Yeah, I always loved clothes, doing it as a hobby. And then it's funny too, because I'm not competitive when it comes to the fashion. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to like beat anyone out or like, you know, go up against anyone. I'm not competing in the fashion. I'm going to do the fashion stuff because I love it and it lives in my soul. So then to have a moment like the Jelly Roll thing, when people have like called it arts and crafts, or like, oh, you're not a designer because you didn't sew it, which is kind of like, you know, a skill I'm trying to work on, because it's definitely like I'm trying to add that to my skill set. Oh, now I can sew too. Like, everybody really better watch out. So it's like all those doubts, I guess. It's just people like to just doubt, and I'm just not, it doesn't really affect me. I'm going to still do the thing that I want to do. Like if Jelly never wore it, I'd still be painting the jackets. you
And that's
know?
what I love about artistry, right? Like, because there's a lot of individuals out there that do what they do for, for money or the accolades or whatever the case might be, but you do it for the passion. Um, which the
Yeah, I
beautiful thing
love it.
about that for me is nobody could ever take that shit away from you, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah,
dope as an
yeah.
artist too is what I love the most about artistry of any kind, right? Because there's so many different levels to artistry and so many different directions that you can go with artistry. You're taking something, as you said earlier, having an idea in your mind and bringing it into the world. You have literally created something that has never existed before. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the process. Do you have like a general process or structure that you follow, or is it just kind of like the feels with you? What's that like? What's that experience of getting something in your mind and
Hmm.
like, oh fuck, that would be kind of cool. Let's go and execute this now.
Yeah, well, I have like different modes when it comes to it because I'll either usually inspiration from a person strikes me and they become like a muse and I'm like, I want to make them a jacket. Like they don't
Yep.
even know who I am, but like I want to make them this and I want to get it to them. So that to me is like a bigger thing than that's like otherworldly. That's a calling that like that pulls on my soul. Then I have the people that order jackets for me that then I, when they tell me what they want, then I can sense a feeling. And it's like when they do want a jacket, like I need the control of like, okay, just tell me like what size and what style. And then like the rest is how it like it just comes to my mind kind of in like a picture. And then, I always have a moon on every piece. I have a piano on every piece. I have usually like a Bible verse or something under the collar. Like there's certain things on every piece. But then I also do things where like last March, I just decided that I wanted to do a March collection. So I dropped a piece a day
I
for
remember talking
31
that. I
days. So
remember
I did
talking about
31
that with you.
pieces.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, pretty much 29 of those jackets sold. So that's like, that was just something that I made up myself and like just decided to put it out. And like, because I like the fact that I could just do what I want, how I want, like whether people like respond to it or not. It's like the response was so good that now it's like I have to pause people on ordering from custom pieces for me because I don't have the
It's got to be
time.
a hell of a cool feeling though, right? Because you want to continue to do what you can. And obviously we talked about and mentioned briefly sustainability, right? Once you start hitting that level, right? That's the sustainability where you don't want to overwhelm yourself. But do you feel it kind of gives you a sense, in getting to a point like that where you're like, hey, this is just kind of cool because I can work on things that speak to me maybe more than others? Because listen, at the end of the day, yes, we got to make money, right? We got to make money in order to sustain the life that
Yeah,
we ultimately want to
of
live.
course.
But do you get more of a sense of freedom when you're in a position that way where you're like, hey, I'm just too busy right now, and I have the ability to kind of pick and choose, not necessarily who I'm going to work with, but more, what piece from the creative standpoint is speaking to me, kind of right now in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's how I like live my entire like life. Like what is my soul like saying? Like the mind could say anything. It's like what's the feeling? And like I really just don't sway off of that. And a really good quote that Jerry told me years ago, and I literally live it like daily, is the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. So like little by little, it's not about like doing something like grand. It's about like, okay, like let me compartmentalize, like I said, and let me spend 2 hours and get this and this done on the jackets because it's a process. They have to dry and it takes time and I, painting and I have to go get the paint. It's like a big process. So and then sometimes, I'll have a simple idea and then I wind up just going like crazy. It's a lot of like, oh, this is great. No, this sucks. No, this is great. This sucks. But then like when the piece is done and it's shipped off, like I love when the pieces can go to the world. And like now, like the piece is meant to be worn and make you feel a little bit better about whatever it is that you're feeling or to bring that to somebody else. um it's powerful. Like fashion is really powerful. Like me and Jerry literally want to change the world, and I feel like with the music and the fashion, like we have that ability just by writing something that somebody reads as they're walking past you. It's like that might have changed the course of that person's like existence, sort of,
Very much so.
When you have something, it's like, oh wow, I'm a different person than I was before I knew that or saw that or heard that. So I'm all about just like, growth constantly and just being open-minded and just following like my
And
soul.
I think that's the best way that you can do it, at least from my experiences, right? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that that stood out from what you just mentioned there is, legacy, right? Talking about legacy when you're physically no longer here, talking about planting those seeds that you said that you may not be able to bear the fruit from, right? Somebody else is going to bear that fruit eventually. And it may not be you, but legacy, that's your legacy. At the end of the day, I think that's super fucking cool that you both have been building that. You guys, I know you guys are going to continue to expand on that. And I'm hella excited to continue to watch both of your journeys grow.
Appreciate
because
that.
I love seeing people win. I do. Like, not a lot of people think like that. And I wish they did, because if they did, this world would be a lot better of a place, man. Like, I live by saying I'm not one of the most intelligent persons in the world, but I'm one of the smartest, because I know how to utilize the resources that are around to me, because it's about team building. It's about collaborating. The more people that could be in sync and foundationally aligned to what it is that they're trying to accomplish, that's only going to breed success for somebody. And why not? And if you're going to fail, why not fail chasing greatness, right? Like, not many people can say that. Yeah. And also, like I said earlier, nobody can ever take that away from you, because at that point, you're living on a completely different plane that people in some cases are afraid to go to. The elevation you talked about, the growth that you talked about, having that open mind, having that open heart, and kind of just letting the universe take you where the universe goes ultimately as well.
Yeah, because it's like we actively like tried to do this. We tried to get here. It's like people are like, oh, you need to manifest. It's like manifesting is such a scary thing, because it's not like a pretty thing. There's like quotes on like Pinterest about manifesting, but it's like intensely focusing, and then like think about like a seed growing from the dirt. It's like, it's not like it just comes out and it's a flower. It like has to like grow. Maybe it's going to get covered by something and be shaded out and not even get to its level. So it's like you need to really just like focus. And I really have zero time to focus on like what other people are doing or judging. Like I can't be bothered with, it's like, it's all good. I have no ill will in my heart or soul for anyone, but it's like, if you're not down with what we're doing now, it's cool, but just, you got to stay here, because this train is going fast, and like, we're not stopping or slowing, and no one's going to tell me that we're not doing this, like hell or high water. The music is the spaceship, and fail a billion times at it. That's the thing too. It's like, there's only one rule when it comes to specifically to the music and kind of to passion, but it's just do not stop. Do not stop.
Amen.
Don't stop, and I feel like me and Jerry have built such a bond, and it's almost like this business really, well, because you're in business with your relationship. So it's like this, it's bigger than like, if you can, it's not perfect, right? And it's not great every single day, but if you can make that work, then it's like, wow, we're really unstoppable. Because I feel so confident, like even with the managing, it's like, when it comes to the product, and when it comes to the music, and when it comes to who I know Jerry is as a performer, as an artist, it's like, he does not drop the ball. Like top tier talent. Because now it's like, I have something to base it off of, because now I've been out here in the game, in the studio, in the hip hop world, in the, in the game with all the dudes, and I see it, I hear it, I see a lot. And I know that what Jerry does and has is extremely rare. So I'm just blessed to be around like I watch magic. It goes from silence to like the songs you hear. And it's like, music really does have the power to like transcend age, race, color, not like anything. It doesn't matter. Like a old man and a little baby could both love. It's the feeling of it. So the fact that I can be as close as I am to it, like I'm like, I feel like lucky, or I feel like I'm bragging because I'm satisfied. Like I'm so blessed and like lucky that I get to do this.
No, because you definitely get some cool experience living out there. And the dope thing is, which not many people, like you and I can have that relationship with our partners, in life. But when there's extra layers to that, when you're in business together, right? So I appreciate what you guys have in a way that maybe other people don't, because I literally live that with my wife, right? So let's talk about that real quick if we could. What's just like that balance like for you? Because we're around together like damn near 24 hours a day. Like I feel weird. I feel weird when I'm not with her. Like you need that, that independency, and you need your you time, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes but what does that balance act look like for you guys? Because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of couples out there that have tried and miserably failed at that. And I'm gonna use the word failed because I'm not gonna use it as a lesson. But so what's that look like for you guys in order to make that work for as long as you have to this point even?
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like, not to toot Jerry's horn, but I feel like he gave me
toot him, man. Toot his horn too. Your horn, fucking why not? Let's go to your show. To whoever's horn you fucking want to on this show.
Because he really did give me like a voice where there's not many rappers that are like, she's coming, you got to talk to like her first about their girl, like, how it is, like it is kind of sometimes what you think it is. So to have such a solid dude with such a high top tier level of talent, but as the one to believe in me, to be like, yo, you could do this. You're the one who's going to pull it off. Like, you go in the meeting, you say that, like, that's really empowering to walk into a room full of men or the industry or rappers, and then he puts the ball, he puts the ball in my court, and I'm the one who's running it. And it's like, once I start talking, it's very simple to see what we're about. Like, we did not come here for anything other than to like take the music and make it like, honestly, like global. Like it's not easy, but I feel like it's also a rare case for how Jerry placed me in the position that he placed me in. Because when you have high powered people with a lot of like ability to control the behind the scenes of stuff, and he's allowing me to help him guide that's like, I feel like, oh my God, I stutter when I talk, like I'm not like, I forget what I'm saying mid-sentence sometimes. So it's just, I really do have to accredit it to Jerry for having that belief in me and being like, yo, you're the one who's going to do this. And then to have the quality of the product, I feel like it's like pure, like diamonds. So it's easy to sell it when you believe in that, like it's not like I have to try to sell it. I can't help it but sell it. And then we'll try to be like normal sometimes and be like, let's just like go and be like, have like a normal like date. Like, let's try to like go to dinner and like a movie. And then it's like, we're always like,
but you can't.
No, because we're coming up with ideas or we're thinking of something and we're like, oh fuck, let's not go to the movies because we can go home and we can do that. And so that's just like, that's how we are together. We like feed off of each other. I mean, 4 a.m. sometimes, like we are literally jumping in the studio because he just played me some new shit he made. And it's like, oh my God, like the world hasn't even heard this yet. And there was a time where it was literally just us in Long Island in a shed that we turned into the studio. Like, I know we're not crazy, bro. This is really that good. Like, and now it's like, he's playing Red Rocks.
Which, man, that's
a blackout moment. That's a blackout moment. When he came out of Red Rocks, he blacked out. I blacked out. Like, what is even happening? And then it's like, no, we specifically tried. We aimed for here.
And that's the intent that you were talking about earlier, right? Because it's one thing to have that idea and that thought, but it's another thing to execute. And the only way that's really going to happen is if you have the right intent behind it. And man, Red Rocks, that I've been to a couple shows there. Wow, what a fucking place to do a show! Like, wow, like it's like magic, like you were saying earlier, like going to Red
magic.
Rocks is a magical experience. It's just absolutely phenomenal out there. So people, if y'all ever have the opportunity to go to Red Rocks, I honestly don't even care who the fuck you go see.
Yeah,
if you got an opportunity, you need to go see a show at Red Rocks.
It's crazy too, because so we met when we first went out to Kansas City. Like a month later, there was going to be this show. Tech Nine was playing. Jelly Roll was opening for Tech on this Strange tour, and we hadn't really met Tech that much, and definitely hadn't met Jelly. And we went to the show, and that's where we met Jelly. And like instantly, like there was just this connection between us all, like him and like it was just this feeling. And then like full circle coming back, and then Jerry's like opening for Jelly at Red Rock, like a couple years like it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's actively trying to do it.
No, and with the authenticity. Well, and the authenticity that you kind of been talking about, throughout this conversation, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. Like my wife and I, we went on a couple sales calls. We're starting to partner with some interior designers, some wineries and stuff like that here. And, I kind of let her take the lead because I've been in sales my whole life. I can start selling at like 5 years old, right? Like I can do that shit in your sleep, honestly. So it's like, it's like how, with the experience that I have, how, do I teach someone that? And someone who kind of like you were saying has always maybe had, let's call it maybe self-conscious about, being that person like that. I hate using the word sales, but the influencer, if you will, having the belief in what they're offering to somebody. And, so we went on a winery call yesterday with another husband and wife who owns a lounge and a winery here in Kansas City. And I at this point, my wife, Elsie, I'm like, yo, I know this shit. So you take the lead. And afterwards, she's like, how did I do? I was like, you did phenomenal, because you didn't have any expectations other than just trying to make that authentic connection with the people that we were speaking to. And we walked out of there with, I'll tell you this, the biggest compliment. We landed an opportunity with both the lounge and the winery for in a couple different ways. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But the biggest compliment that we both took away from that, and we were even talking about it, 2 days later, Shariti was like, you both are so enigmatic. I love that, because like you were saying earlier, we like being different. We don't want to be the standard. We have personality. We want to let it show. We want to show our tattoos. We love, this is who we are. And to what you were saying earlier, we want to fuck with people in life and business that at least have some kind of foundational similarity to us, which with us, it's take care of our family, be an asset to others. And that's really it. Because if you could our thoughts are, if you just do those two things and you're authentic, especially in today's world where it's definitely filled with a lot of fake, let's call it, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. And at the same time, though, I think there's a sense of, for some of us anyways, as we're on that growth process and we're on that elevation process, of vulnerability, which a lot of people are afraid of. Some people are afraid of being vulnerable. What are your thoughts when I use the word vulnerability? What does that mean to you and your experiences and the journeys that you have been on individually and collectively with the power couple that you two are, and with the beautiful things that y'all are doing in life right now? What does that mean word to you when I say that?
Well, so I told Jerry when I first started managing him, my one thing is like, I literally can only be myself. I don't know how to filter sometimes, which isn't always the best thing, or speak my mind, or maybe read the room correctly. I maybe will sometimes have trouble in those areas because I can't help but like, if I'm how I feel in that, like that's who I am. So I'll be vulnerable all day, every day. Like I'm just a person that's like I don't expect, like I don't judge, and I don't expect to be judged back. And I know that there is judgment back, but I can't even think about that because I'm focused on the mission. Like I don't mind being vulnerable. I don't mind if someone thinks something of me. Like it has nothing to do with me. Like I'm good. Like I haven't even heard all the terrible things that people will eventually say, especially like on what we're doing. It's like the rise to it. It's like everyone supports. And then it's like, you know, when you get to a certain level, then those people kind of sometimes will turn on you. Like you never really know. So just if you could just authentically be yourself, even FBA, like mine and Jerry's motto is like, we just do what we say we're going to do. That's it.
That
like
goes
if
a
you just do, if you just
way.
like, your word is very, like it's very strong and solid. It's been lost in translation. I feel like it used to be a thing, like, you know, like a gentleman's or person handshake. I'm not going to say gentleman because like I've done a gentleman's handshake with people before. You know, it's like I could live on that. Like because I hold mine. So I expect it back. And it's like I've been definitely burned, but I feel like all the burns and all the like maybe not so great times or bad decisions that I've maybe made, like all those things have made me like so much better and stronger of who I am today.
And that's exactly where I was going to go. What kind of power have you experienced out of that vulnerability? Because I'm a very firm believer with you. Like it's a very powerful thing to be vulnerable, because the growth that does come from that, if you allow it to be, is, again, in my experiences, has been exponential. Vulnerability is power. In my mind, is that something that you agree with from the experiences that you had in being vulnerable?
Yeah, like I just feel confident in myself, in what I'm doing and like how I'm living, and I'm unapologetic about it. And it might be like too much for some because it's all the time, like always, but I feel like that's just my realness. So if you don't like, you don't have to be around it if you don't want to, but it's like we're on this really focused mission. Yeah, I'll be vulnerable all day long, like, but you're never going to catch me not being myself. I'm never worried, even like with the, you know, everything's mic'd now, everything's, you know, filmed now, you're always being recorded and all that. Like I'm not worried on any aspect. There's nothing I feel that I live or do or say. I mean, I'm not a perfect person, of course, but there's not like that I feel I couldn't, you know, speak my way out of, or just, you know, and it's like people are going to think what they want, and something could be totally miscommunicated, and then like maybe that severs or burns that bridge or severs that tie. But if like my authentic truth knows the truth, I really don't care if one other person does. So like truly.
Man, I can hella appreciate that, because that just means, like you were kind of talking about earlier, if that individual or set of individuals, that might just be their stop at the train station. Honestly, like you have got what the universe wanted you to experience, again, good, bad, or indifferent, from that individual. And to your point from earlier, the train's going and that motherfucker's going fast, and sometimes it's just
got to either keep up or like, yeah, you might get run over. You could stay here. It's all love. You could stay at the station.
Yes.
I'll come back. I'll see you later. But like right now, because it's like again, with the time, if you don't do it, then your life is going to pass. So like, you know, take all the stupid chances, like go to even just all the hours, it's like 10,000 hours, right? It makes you a master. It's like the amount of hours, the things we've done, the places that Jerry's brought me, the like the ability to have that now as experience. It's like, oh my God, wait, I kind of know what I'm talking about because I've been doing this for actually years. And it's like, and this too, I mean, you can literally, let alone AI, that we'll keep that over here for now. You can you can literally Google how to do, Jerry even has a line. He says, I built $1 million business on my iPhone. And it's so true. Like you have the power at your fingertips. Anything you want to know, do, say, ask, like, and then, you know, it's also to being careful with how much info you're intaking every day and what kind of info you're intaking every day, because the mindless scrolling and the like, I'm not saying that every time I'm on my phone, it's for a purpose, but like, it's never just, the doom scroll.
Yes.
It's the scariest thing to me ever. It's like, oh my God, please stay away from, I'll even avoid my phone sometimes for days.
Lost in that shit. Yeah, you can really get lost in that shit.
I don't want to like look at whatever it is they want. And now it's like, you really don't even know. Like some girl was swimming the other day and she's like, oh, cute little baby, roll up to me. And a shark. And it's like, it's fake. It's AI. That's a great white shark. It's not swimming next to her and kissing her on the cheek, but it looks so real. It's just like, what are we what are we doing? So it's like, put the phone down. Let's get in the studio. Let's listen to the songs. Let's make a jack. Let's do something. Let's go outside. I'm like a nature, like spiritual, like universe type of person. So like, you can always go outside and just like stand on the grass with your feet and like get grounded.
Yes. I try to do that as often as possible in the morning. Just go out and just connect, man. That's why I love mowing my fucking grass. It takes me sometimes like 2 hours to mow my fucking grass, but I love it because I throw in my Bob Marley. I got some reggae going, and it's just me, my music, my thoughts, and I'm just being outside, man. And I appreciate that shit, right? And what I love. No, we lost Tara. We'll have to get back in. Oh, no, where'd she go? There she goes. There we go. All right,
Cool.
we brought you back. All right, cool. Just the nature, what you're talking about, certain feels, being around who you need to be around. I want to talk about Strange real quick.
Sure.
And the reason I want to talk about Strange specifically is because I feel that is getting to know, about Strange, what I've had, my experience back in November when I had the privilege of being a guest of X-Rateds, back in November. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out X-Rated.
Shout out to that bro.
I mean, love him.
He's such a good dude, such a stand-up dude.
Class
so
act.
intelligent as
Class
well, man.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. First time I walked in there, I found out a little bit. I couldn't help it. Like, I'm walking in a fucking strange land. Like, never in my wildest dreams would I expect that, right? But what I took away from that week and that experience and getting to meet X-Rated and be his guest for the week with, shout out to my brother Dooney out in Sacramento, who's also X-Rated's brother. I'm getting to meet Tech 9 family. It's family oriented. Tech's wife was there. His daughter, Alina, was there. Like, it was so refreshing for me, especially with respect to music, because they're normal people. You're normal people. Jerry's normal people. Like, I've talked to Jerry enough to know he's just a normal fucking dude who happens to be fucking super awesome at what the fuck he does. I mean, think about it. Having his rap reggae background, doing the country shit that he does now as well. Like, that's elevation. That's elevation. Yeah. And I love that about the Strange brand as a whole, because it very much seems like they allow you to be authentic and who you are. And that's kind of like, for lack of a better word, their niche, right? But it was super refreshing to see how humble these dudes were, like getting to watch the Tyson Jake Paul fight with Tech and with Rated after one of their shows in Tulsa. Like, I took away from that week just being refreshed with just, wow, it's just amazing to know, like, some people that you, whether you want to call it admire or appreciate for what they do or who it is that they are or what they stand for. Like, this is, what you hear, what you think about them through their music or their artistry. That's exactly who the fuck they are, because there's a lot of people out in this art world that they're doing it just for the money or the likes or the 2 million, followers or whatever. Is that something that you guys feel with your experience with the Strange family thus far?
So I feel like the Strange family is like this, like, even like I'm spreading it out to even like the fans of Strange,
Mm-hmm. Very much.
It was like the land of the misfits, and we came out like as misfits, and we were like accepted into this like super. So I was very unfamiliar with Strange music. Like, I didn't know what that was really until Jerry, was like, you have to watch this doc. That's how we wound up getting to Tech and Trav. But so I didn't know what it was, and then to be brought in as an outsider into this like huge family, this fan base, this platform that has been built for 20 years, successful at music, to be accepted with like open arms. And, we were told kind of in the beginning, we're not sure how you guys will be received and how Jerry's music is going to go. Like, it was kind of up in the air. And then like, it's just, again, like stars aligning, like it took to Jerry, like exactly how it was supposed to. And, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better like group of people to be around, because I'm also too, it's like, these are picture almost. Okay. So when we came out to Kansas City, I didn't realize that Jerry was going to be technically signing to like the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Right. So to have that be unbeknownst to me, it was almost a really weird way to come into it. Like, I wasn't really familiar with Tech too much. And then to meet him and then, you know, have all this information on, I was like starstruck after I met him because I was like, oh my God, like this dude is like next level. And then for it to be so tight knit, and the Kansas City like family is so tight. And I never really saw support like that in the industry either, coming from New York, especially as like rappers and stuff, you know. And I can't even explain the like the embrace that we were brought in with. And like I will never take that away from like from Strange like that. It's just crazy. I mean, even like I remember one of the first times we were at Strange, they were all on tour. So like Tech was on tour, Calico was on tour, Joey was on tour, everyone was away. And we randomly saw like JL in the studio. And he kind of just like, it's like, who are we? We literally came into a like everyone knew each other. It was like a world for 20 years, relationships built. And then Tara and Jerry had a left field. And I think when like specifically JL, when he saw and him and Jerry connected on like the music, they had Inner Demons. JL was actually the first one to put Jerry on like his Strange album before Jerry got, you know, it was this whole kind of plan that Travis, you know, brewed up with building the fan base before we actually signed. Cause we were in KC for, I think like 4 or 5 months working on what came to be 2020. And, Trav was dropping, you know, little breadcrumbs to the fans and slowly introducing. And then honestly, Jerry was set to go and, be on that, you know, essentially be an opener on that Tech Jelly tour. And then, so he signed in January, and then the pandemic happened in March. So he was set to go on this, it was going to all be, you know, change real quick. And then all of a sudden we're locked in, but that was, me and Jerry were already in the mud. Right. So the pandemic was still like, we were still in the mud. So it didn't really hinder us. It gave us the space to build this name and this brand while everyone was kind of like locked in. So then by the time Jerry did go out with Tech, everyone knew all of the songs, you know, he wasn't going, you know, so it's just crazy how everything works, but it was all perfectly aligned. And I love Strange. That's my family.
It's a solid motherfucking family to have. Let me tell you that.
Joey, X, Tech, like Calico, like what? That's my homie. Like Crystal, like those are my people.
And there's not a lot of them out there like that. So when you get that type of family, keep them, ladies and gentlemen, keep them, man. Because there's not a lot like that.
You have to like love people for who they are, and like, you have to not love people for who they like, accept people for who they are. And you're either going to accept them and like allow them to be themselves, or like you just got to keep it moving. Sometimes you can't, I can't be around certain people and I have to distance myself. But then some people will, you know, bring something to me that it's like, I have to appreciate that I'm not perfect either. Like no one's a perfect person. So everyone's going to have their things. And if you know somebody long enough, something will come up that, you know, is annoying about them, but it's just like, you got to like give and take a little bit.
You accept it. Cause you're right. As long as you're not a fucking asshole, right? As long as you're not an outright asshole and, you know, mistakes happen, things happen. As long as you can come together and at least communicate through them, that's what family is, right? I live by a saying, blood makes you related, loyalty makes you family. And the vibe that I got from that experience, was very much that. Like, I mean, it was crazy. You know, going to Strange the first day, I was like, hey, you know, where's the restroom? And Tech's like, you know, let me show you. And like,
the 97 restrooms that they have.
Wild. And it was really humbling for me, because it's like, it, you know, at first, you know, where I come from, right? Where I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut for the majority of my life. You know, most people are like, you know, especially in a place like that, well, let me show you the bathroom so you don't fucking steal anything, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm walking into the house that he built, him and Trav built, right? Yes. And he was just being a gracious host, like, nah, fam, let me tell you.
No, he's next level humble, dude.
Like,
wow. I know.
Like literally, like you said, like he doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. He just knows that I'm a guest of X-Rated by way of Dooney, and if this dude's here, he's here for a reason, and he's family. And that was, like I said earlier, that was the dopest thing that I took away from that week and experience as well.
Well, even when we first went to Strange, and just what Travis did for us and what he planted in our mind and what he taught us very early on. I mean, he lit a fire that he couldn't put out. Like that, like what? Even going to Strange, why we even went was because Jerry was up one night Googling inspirational music stories. And this little Forbes doc came up of Trav and Tech. And he literally woke me up at like 3 a.m. and was like, you have to watch this. Like, these dudes will understand us. They're doing what, like, nobody was doing anything like that. We never even thought anything like that. And then to go there and see that. I mean, at the time we were back and forth with DJ Khaled's team also. But then this meeting happened where we, you know, intertwined with Trav, and it changed the course of everything because we had plans to go to Miami and try to, you know, do this other thing. And then it's like, oh, once we saw that, you couldn't take that back. I mean, unless you are there seeing the facility, seeing Victoria Drive and all the buildings, dude, and HQ, and seeing it, it's like, oh my God.
That's
like,
next level.
like that could never like exist in New York, you know? And it's like, how did we live our whole lives never realizing that this goes on? This is going on. Like, they low-key got it figured out, you know? And they're it's like smack dab in the middle of the country. And then, you know, kind of just because everyone's like, you know, why would you go to Kansas City from New York? Like, New York is where you got to go. But it's like, all right, we got New York. We had to step out for a sec to hit the middle and seep out. But it's like, I wasn't expecting to find a second home in Kansas City. Like, a piece of my soul lives there forever. That changed everything. And now we're in Nashville. It's just like me and Jerry are jumpers. We jump. We're like, figure it out on the way down type shit.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like, if you don't do the scary things, like, I like to jump in the pool first. I'm one of those people. Like, I don't know. I just like, because that might inspire someone else to jump after. Like, no one's going to jump. If no one's going to jump, I'm going to jump because, or like chop my hair off. Let me chop my hair off because
like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, like, no girls are going to chop their hair off because, like, who wants to chop their hair off? You don't know if you're even going to like it. It's going to be a whole thing. But I want to do it just to show somebody else that, like, anything is possible. And, like, even the whole jelly, like, shit like that does not happen to people like me. Like, I am just a normal fucking person. Now I have an accolade under my belt that some of the greatest designers of all time don't have.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. And I love what you said there because we're the same way. Like, and I'm going to come back to moving from New York to Kansas City because I definitely, something that I'm sure we're going to share together when it comes to it. But I want to sit with you on that level too. Like, sometimes you just got to jump, right? Like, you know, I moved out in 2011 to Colorado from Bridgeport, Connecticut, right? Ended up meeting my wife a couple of years later. She was a native of Colorado her entire life. Then we ended up deciding to move in, it was like 2023 or whatever the fuck it was. We were like, yeah, let's move to Oklahoma City. It was just a good market for what we were doing, you know, heavy real estate investing at the time. Colorado, especially northern Colorado, like, unless you had a fucking bank on a payroll, man, like, you're fighting. It's like you're a AAA or single A baseball team playing the fucking same Yankees, which in my world is a bad word because I'm a Red Sox fan.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But I still got love. I still got love for it. All right, good. All right, even better. Even better. And then so we're like, yo, we're going to go to Oklahoma City. And we had a 10-year plan, right? In 10 years, our daughter was going to be out of high school. We're going to go overseas. We're just going to live overseas, come back, yada, yada, yada. A year and a half into living in Oklahoma City, we literally randomly, it was a Saturday night. And we're like, our daughter was in Colorado at the time. And my wife and I were like, yo, we're going to Kansas City. We just decided the next day just to drive to Kansas City, 5-hour drive. And then it started a series of events that ended up leading us to the opportunity to move to Kansas City, right? Wow. So, you know, there goes our 10-year plan, year and a half into it. Fuck it. We're leaving Oklahoma City and we're fucking moving to Kansas City.
I love that.
You have to. And
I love people that just aren't scared to do, like, you have to do. Yeah, you have to do what, like, your soul is calling you to do.
You do. Like, I remember, like, when I proposed to her, we were sitting in our townhouse at the time. I had already bought the ring.
How long have we been together?
We've been together since 2016, married for 7 years,
Cute.
Going on 8 years now. And it was so organic, right? And authentic because she had came out of a relationship. I actually had been previously married and got divorced like 4 months earlier, right? And we like we had worked together. Like it's funny because she's always like, I was the big boss in the corporate world, right?
Okay.
And she always made, like, she tells me now, like, she had this big crush on me, and she would always, when a FedEx delivery would come in for me, she wanted to be the one to take it to me, and yada yada. Then I quit. We end up meeting each other 4 months later, and then we just started hanging out nonchalantly, right? Just a cool personality to hang out with, and we both told each other, yo, we're not looking for anything serious. Let's hang out, let's have a good time, yada yada yada. And 5 months later we were engaged, because like you were saying earlier, the universe just fucking told us, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
you can't run from it, dude.
You can't. And I had the ring picked out, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning when I proposed to her, and I didn't have I had already picked out the rings, put a down payment on it, and I just fucking proposed to her at 3 o'clock in the morning. Her and I just laying in bed, and I proposed. She freaked the fuck out. 3 hours later, we're hopping in the car to fucking drive to Vail on a whim. Like, we are some of the most spontaneous fucking people out there, and we love it because we embrace it, because we live under the guise now very similar to what it sounds like you and Jerry respectively do. You go where the universe tells you to go is kind of what it sounds like to me. Right. And so that brings me to what I wanted to talk about, in moving from New York City area, the good old tri-state area.
We were in Brooklyn, bro.
To Kansas City, because I'm sure it's very similar to my experience when I left Bridgeport, okay, and moved to Colorado. And the story that I always tell people is the first time I ever went into the post office. Went in the post office in Colorado, and we come from a place where, like you were saying, things are fast paced. Like, get your shit done and go to the next thing. It's a rat race. The tri-state area, that Northeast corridor, is a fucking rat race, man.
Yeah.
And so going to Colorado, and somebody's done with their transaction at the post office. This is like my first couple of weeks living in Colorado. The transaction's done, but then the customer is sitting there talking to the person for like 10 minutes. And I'm sitting here like, yo, what the fuck, man?
No, you're rude.
I got places to be. Yeah. I gotta mail my shit out, and I gotta go. And it was a culture shock for me, because I wasn't a customer. Like, when you're leaving the grocery store. Hey, what are you up to the rest of the day? Yo, none of your fucking business. Like, don't worry about what I'm doing. You worry about what you're doing. Stay the fuck out of my business. So what was that experience in the change of culture, moving from Brooklyn, growing up in Long Island, and then moving to such a
I'm a New Yorker, bro. I'm a New Yorker. Like, that's like I never even thought about Kansas. I didn't never think about Kansas City. I never even knew Kansas City was in Missouri. I feel bad, like, knowing what I know about it now. And like, one of my goals is to really put it on the map as best I can, because it's so much beauty out there. But I mean, we went out there on a plane ticket with a suitcase each. And I remember the first time we were in the city, I was parking, like, literally first day I'm there, and this guy is on the sidewalk, and he's calling over to me, and he's trying to wave, and I'm like, I roll the window down this much. Yes, sir. What can I do? Like, how can I help you? And he's like, I'm trying to help you back in. And I'm like, oh my God, you just got out of your car. You're taking your time to do something like literally nice for me, just to be nice. That's like, where, like, I didn't even know how to receive it.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's like, but it's a sweet type of person. I don't know. There's a wholesomeness there that, I wouldn't give up New York having that, because I feel like, as you're right there, Connecticut, but having that, like, the mentality that we have and grew up with prospers heavily out in these other places, because one, our pace is unmatched. Two, I realize I come across a lot of people out, more so out in the Midwest or more West, that things that seem normal to us, or were normal to us, or are normal to us, maybe they've never heard that, or they've never been around certain places. There's just not a hustle and bustle, so they don't have that, like, maybe business mind, or so it's really cool to go to these places and like leave inspiration behind. Because like, in no disrespect, I just never even thought about like the other states, really. I know that sounds like pretentious. It's just like, as a New York. So I couldn't be more blessed to have Kansas City open my eyes to that, because places like Iowa, Sioux City, shout out my homies out in Sioux City. Like, I love Idaho. Like, these places are in Wyoming. incredible places. So it's just like, yeah, man. I remember the first night we moved to Lee Summit, Missouri from Brooklyn, and it was like 9:30, and we were like, all right, cool, let's go like grab some food. And like, I mean, we couldn't find an open gas station. We couldn't find food. Like I had to drive like 40 minutes, and then we discovered Quick Trip, 24 hours always. Shout out Quick Trip. So it's like you get used to it, but yeah, I wouldn't take back the fact of having the East Coastness in us when we're out in these other places, like even out in Nashville. It's just, also too, it's not always, it's a blessing and a curse because we've been, more specifically me, been told like it's too aggressive for some people, or it's too much for some, or they're not used to the energy, or they can't handle it, or it's too fast paced, or it's just like, it's overwhelming for some people. But again, that's my train thing. Cool, get out the way.
Exactly.
Don't care,
No, it makes perfect sense. I remember, on that note, I remember because I was working in Wyoming because I lived in Fort Collins when I moved out. So like 45 minutes from the Wyoming border. Fort Collins is dope. It's grown to be a lot more than what it was when I moved there in 2011. It takes like 50 minutes to get from one end of town to the next. So kind of like New York traffic is essentially what it is these days. But beautiful place, gorgeous place. Nice to go back and visit. But it was time for us to leave, which is why, brought us to Oklahoma City. But, before we came to Kansas City. But I remember because I was in sales at the time. I was working for, this name will ring a bell for you. I was working for Cablevision, otherwise known as Optimum at the time. When I moved out there, we bought another telecommunications company. I went out there to start the direct sales division. And so now I'm working with these individuals in Wyoming. And again, to that energy or the fast pace of my speech at the time, there was this one dude, Ryan Nation. I'll never forget. Like at the end of the night, you call in, how'd you do tonight? Blah, 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 blah. And finally, one day he's like, yo, Mike, he goes, I got to tell you, boss. He goes, honestly, he's like, you talk too fast for me, man. He goes, sometimes I just let you talk. Like, all right, boss, have a good night. I don't even know what the fuck he said, bro. So then I made a joke out of it. Like literally, I started like writing on note cards. Like, and if I was in like a group meeting or something like that, talk slow. Because I don't need anything to talk. Like I'm just gonna talk. Like everything just goes right. But I was like, slow down. Yeah. So I can appreciate that because it's so true. And it is a blessing and a curse because it gives you a leg up in a lot of instances. But in some cases, which again, whoever you're meant to, reach, through whatever it is that you're doing, that's what it's going to be. Right. And if they're not on that speed with you, then hey, so be it. You got to go find somebody that's going to be on your speed. But I needed to share that because that really resonated with me. With what you said. No, it's crazy. And it's crazy too, because like I noticed like driving, like living away from there so long now, my driving has changed, right? However, whenever I land down and I hop myself in a car in New York or Connecticut,
absolutely,
like a switch goes off, right? It's like riding it because you have to be a special driver.
Yeah, but it's so weird too. Even with driving specifically, it's like in places. I know this sounds probably stupid, but like I just never really paid attention to the speed limit in New York or like anything like that, or changing lanes, or like me and my sister were actually driving in Kansas. We were going to see Jerry out in Colorado, and she's driving in the left lane, and a cop is behind us, and he's staying behind us. And then he gets up next to us, and he's literally driving next to us for like a good, a solid while, where I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is this cop? And then he finally pulls us over, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you cannot stay in the left lane. Shit like that. We just weren't. That's the HOV lane. Like, what? That's a passing. Like, you can't stay in that. So it's just a whole different etiquette of like, even rush hour is actually at rush hour in Kansas City. Like 4 to 5, that's rush hour. Like you might be driving from Atlantic City back to Long Island. It might take you 10 hours on the right traffic day, So it's just, yeah. I mean, also too, it's like being careful with, I have mad road rage in New York.
Oh yeah.
I'll honk my horn. I'm screaming at people. But in the Midwest, people have like guns. You got to be like, there's just no road rage. It's more like, even too, getting on an exit in the Midwest and other places, one goes, someone lets you. One goes, someone lets you. In New York, if you are not squeezed in there, you're going to, like, it's going to be, an altercation to some degree.
Yeah, it is. It's wild. Yeah, you got to be a defensive driver and a motherfucking half driver in the tri-state area. It's
yeah, but it's brave of you guys to keep jumping and keep doing and keep going and like keep seeing things. And it's really sweet when you guys are accomplishing what you're accomplishing during your meetings, and you're building each other up, and you're giving those like positive like words, like that goes like really far, and it just like builds that foundation stronger.
No, it absolutely very, very much does. So
Yeah.
Nashville, you've been in Nashville for about a couple months now, if my memory serves me correct. How have you guys been enjoying now being there for a couple months, and the new almost, and again, I don't know if it, how long, people's new runs off for some people as well, right? But what's a couple months in, how you guys feeling about Nashville?
Nashville's crazy. Nashville's unlike anywhere else I've ever been. It's truly its own like bubble. And I don't know if it's coming, because even out in KC, it wasn't as prevalent how hardcore country it is. Like, I mean, in New York, I've never even seen a person wear cowboy boots. It's like you only see especially down on like Broadway and stuff. And just the history, there's a lot of history in Nashville, and a lot of like history that I wasn't privy to. I don't know the backstories. My friend actually not too long ago, back in March, my friend was out and he had just proposed to his girlfriend, and he asked me and Jerry if we knew who I'm going to say the name wrong and everyone's going to hate me. Brooks and Dunn. Okay. And we had never heard of them. And then they're like, you don't know the song like Neon Moon? And we both had never heard it. And I mean, now I've heard it 5 billion times being in Nashville, but that's like not knowing like Billy Joel, like piano, like, so it's just a different thing, but it's a lot of history, and it's a lot of catching up on like this, it's different. Like a New Yorker's mind is, I don't know. I feel like not just one tract, where I feel like maybe Nashville has a one track sort of like it's country. It's a lane, where in New York you can get a little country, but you can get a little bit of anything. So I don't know how Nashville receives outsiders coming in to be like, we're here now, but that me and Jerry come in peace. And we came to build another network, and even being plugged in with like, Jelly and stuff. I mean, Jelly's the king. Jelly's the king of the world, but Jelly's the king of Nashville. So to be in like that, and it's like, Jerry's worked really, really hard for a lot of freaking years to be walking down the street and be like, oh my God, that's Jerry Robinson. So now that Strange Music and Jerry is popping up in Nashville, and people are making that connection, because maybe Nashville didn't know. Nashville knows, of course, the legendary Tech Nine, but maybe wasn't as privy to where he's currently at. Tech is dropping albums, like touring like constantly. Like he's got dude, he's on the podcast circuit, he's killing it. So to reiterate like Tech back to that, it's just like, I feel like we're building those blocks, and Nashville is definitely something. It's like being a new kid in school, and that's the best, because my favorite thing in what I do is having somebody that never heard the name Jerry Robinson or his music, and then saying it to somebody, and then them discovering that, and it like, helping them however it helps them. That's my favorite. Sometimes when you're in somewhere for too long, all those people know, like if you know everybody, then you got to go somewhere else now, because they all like, it's just it's crazy, and it's like humbling too, but now it's Jerry's not unknown. He's known when he walks around. So that's just really again what we tried to actively do.
And it doesn't come without that execution that we were talking about earlier as well. So well played on both your parts, because you guys set out to accomplish something, and you're fucking doing it, and then some, man. And you're right.
Yeah, I mean, especially this album being like, it's going to drop while we're in Nashville.
Is it still planned for maybe September?
Yeah, but it's literally like life changing. He's got some really important features on this album that he's never showcased in his previous work before. So it's just going to be a really interesting. It's going to be a really interesting.
Now, I'm excited. I mean, we've already got Pay Me. We've already got Feel So Long, and Goodbye Now.
Yeah,
man.
Yes,
and Pilot. I've not heard that one yet.
So Pilot we dropped like maybe
Okay.
7 or 8
I'm gonna have
months
to go
ago.
back
It
and
was
listen to that one.
it's like it's on this album. It's part of this album. So even though it came out, a couple months ago, it's encompassed in this. So that also,
No,
please go
I'm
back and
going to,
listen.
because I'm
Pilot
feeling
is
this fucking vibe. My wife heard him last night for the first time. She's like, "Yo," she's like, "Who is this?" I was like, "Yo, this is Jerry Robinson." She's like, "Say what?"
Oh my God.
She's like,
Tell her
"Yo,
to
say
tell all of
what?"
her
She's like,
friends. Yeah.
"This sounds like something I'm gonna have to put on my
Yeah.
playlist." I was like, "This is something you definitely have to put on your playlist."
Yes. Well, because even too with Jerry, it's like I always hope and want because I'm such a fan. Like it's like I can step outside and be like literally like fangirl and be like, oh my God, that's like my like husband, or like he's talking about me. Like that's crazy. But yeah, it's wild.
That's
Man.
hella cool,
Whole thing's
man.
wild.
And again, where you guys are in Nashville, the music history.
Thank you for listening.
No,
Thank
no,
her for
absolutely.
listening.
Like I did.
Yes.
She was like, she's like, I'm all over this shit. I'm like, good, because you need to be. You need to be.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like almost so I like when Jerry's music makes somebody feel like their hair's blown back and they went on a roller coaster, or like his last album Drink More Water, and I'll tell you and I'll tell like your people too, like that album is 56 minutes long. If you hurt your shoulder and a therapist told you to go to fix your shoulder once a week for 4 weeks for an hour, you would go to the doctor. So I challenge everyone once a week for 4 weeks, play this album start to finish, Drink More Water. It's 56 minutes long. It's not about an individual song. You don't have to like do anything other than listen to it. Put in the headphones, put on whatever you're doing in your life. Just have a focus on this thing for 56 minutes for 4 weeks. I guarantee you, I promise you, some change will come from it. However that comes to you, it comes to you. But like, I get the chills thinking about it because like it's audible medicine. So it's like, it's not about catching every word or knowing everything he's talking, or like, because when you're listening to a song, especially like an album, you could just kind of get lost in a train of thought for like a couple minutes and then be like, and then like tune back in. So even if you're doing that, please listen week for 4 weeks. I recommend it.
I'm gonna take that challenge because I've listened to tracks, and especially when I know that there's an album that you should listen to from start to finish. I love pieces of work like that.
Yes, please do, because it gives me the chills, and if it gives me the chills, that means it's real.
And I just put it in the comments, hashtag Drink More Water Challenge.
Thank you.
I'm starting the Drink More Water Challenge is what I'm
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's all love. It's all respect with you guys when it comes down to it, because you guys are authentic. You guys are real people. Like I said earlier, I love to see people win. I love being a fan of that, man, because I'm a firm believer that we were not put on this earth to be alone. So like when I can connect with somebody through their music or what they're doing or who they are as a person foundationally, and being able to see those people win or achieve the goals that they want, man, I fucking love that for a couple reasons. One, there's people are winning. Like, why wouldn't you want to see that? And two, especially at least where I am in my career now and what we're doing as well, like it seeing things like that and hearing things like that it reinforces, let me put it that way. It reinforces and reaffirms the things that I'm doing. Like, even though there's the pits and the valleys of this roller coaster fucking ride of entrepreneurship or artistry, that if you keep on motherfucking pushing and you stay true to who you are and authenticity and the belief and the faith that you have in yourself and what you're truly here for, whatever. And you may not even know what it is that you're looking for other than just putting that artistry out, right? Kind of like you were saying earlier, like with your fashion, like, I don't care if like this is necessarily gonna, we want to make money, but even if I wasn't doing it for the money, this is something that I'm just gonna do because I have the love and the passion for it, right? And man, I'm all for that shit. All for that shit. Have you guys had the experience yet of going to and now it's only been open, I think, for like a year, a little over a year. The NAMM down there in Nashville, the National Museum of African American Music.
Oh no, I didn't even know. Wait, I'm writing that down.
We did a summer family like National Lampoon style trip. We drove from Oklahoma City because we're still living in Oklahoma City at the time. We drove all the way to fucking Boston. But we stopped off in Nashville in our first place. So yeah, the NAMM, National Museum of African American Music. I know for a fact that y'all are gonna love.
Oh my God,
That
I
fucking
did not
experience.
even know.
It's right off of Broadway. I can't think of the street that it's off of, but like literally, if you're walking on Broadway, you just take a fucking right, and it's tucked away. That's why
Yeah.
it's very
Is it
tucked
like
away.
hip hop related at all, or is it like
it is
everything?
It literally goes back to like the 1600s.
Wow.
And literally, like there's like 6 different halls, like breaks down the different genres of
That's
African
so cool.
and like where the like everything, you know, it's really dope because the first thing that they send you into, you know, it's a self-guided tour, if I remember correctly. They sit you down in this little mini auditorium movie theater type of deal for like the first 5 to 7 minutes, and they really talk about the roots of where music as a whole came from, going back to the slave days when they were utilizing it for things like motivation in the fucked up world that they were living in, or obviously, you know, for those of you who don't know your history, you know, like the underground railroad and Harriet Tubman and how they used it for things like that, just to keep their spirits high, right? So I know, you know, knowing at least, you know, the way that I know you guys now, as bare minimum it is, I know you guys are gonna love it. I know you guys are gonna have an appreciation for it. Y'all are probably gonna want to buy a fucking annual pass, honestly.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So definitely check that out because
I already wrote it down.
It's a hell of a cool place, which I know you guys are very much gonna you know, gonna enjoy there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going
as
there.
well now. So shout out. We got to make it down there. I mean, shit, Nashville's only an 8-hour drive away. We can hop in the
it's not that far. Yeah, it's really
we can hop in the car tonight and fucking be in Nashville tomorrow, honestly. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just do that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
But I definitely want to. I'm on your time again. It's your show today. So I just want to check time. If y'all are good. You know, before we get going though, we always want to make sure if there's anything additional, because it's your show. You can talk about, say about, be about anything that you want. We always want to make sure that we give you the last, you know, real segment, if you will, of our conversation, to maybe touch on anything that we haven't talked about that you feel is pertinent or you want to get out into the world. And then we'll just start really winding down from there and let us go about the rest of our Sunday evening here.
Yeah, man. No, I think it's totally cool. It was great talking with you.
I appreciate
it's just like, yeah, it's really great to just have like a great conversation, you know. And I would just say to everyone, please follow my Instagram, Tara FBA, my fashion Instagram, Fashion by Association. The FBA page also. Like I have pages, so I'm gonna like shout them out, you know.
I'm gonna drop all of them.
And then also too, the FBA management YouTube is like Jerry's obviously already established on YouTube, but we're really trying to build that that page, our YouTube, our FBA page, and there's a ton of content on there. Like I do lyric videos, and it's cool if, you know, everyone just went and checked that stuff out too. And I will leave it on the fact of I think everyone should really try that Drink More Water challenge because it still stands. And stay tuned for the album because that is coming out soon.
Yo,
and shout out to you for being a Goodbye Now. I mean, we're well over 1 million views on that video.
1.1. I actually looked last night. I think 1.1 or something like that is what is run up on YouTube right now. I'm excited for the future, you know, for both of you. I mean, again, you guys are awesome. You guys are my kind of motherfucking people for real. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to have the conversation.
As soon as we met, I was like, your energy just made, you know, and then it's like you followed through because a lot of people like to talk. It's a lot of talking people do, but like actions are so much more like important. And then I know we had to reschedule it last time. So it's like, you just have to like show up.
That's it, man. Because people have regular lives, man. And you have to also be understanding with that, right? As well. And you were so kind enough, and Jerry was kind enough that night to fill in for you and give me,
I was like,
you know, he was like, so that was unexpected, but very welcome. We had a dope conversation, which has led to many offline conversations, which I got to circle back around with him on a couple different things. And I got to circle back around with you specifically because I talked to him about some dope upcycle chairs that we have. So respectfully,
really quick on the upcycle furniture.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this passion. I was doing it in Kansas City. The thrift stores out here in Nashville. So I haven't been doing it as much, but I also upcycle furniture. So what I would do is I would always go for baby furniture, high chairs specifically. So I got a couple high chairs. And then when I researched them, I found out they were like from the 40s, like very like expensive antique high chairs that I I made them gender neutral colors.
Yeah.
So I did like green and gold, or I did like maybe not baby colors. I like to take babies out of the baby colors all the time. So I made like 2 or 3 high chairs, and I sold them for a lot of money out in Kansas City. There's some rich moms out in KC. So the baby furniture, bro.
That's
I'm telling you, the high chairs, baby high chairs, it's minimal work because they're small, but as long as the hardware works, I mean, like even a high chair, I feel like they're so cautionary nowadays, but these used to just be like a wood thing that with the piece over it, you know, but yeah, I would get them for like $10 and I was selling them for literally $400 or $500.
Oh, I believe it.
I love upcycling furniture. It's my, like, when I'm like, have the time, I will get back into that.
No, it's dope. Then I'm gonna, if you're cool with it, I'm gonna send you our website so you can take a look, because we use.
Oh, please.
There's a plethora of walnut and black walnut and oak around here, so we make custom hardwood furniture, and we also the barrel chairs. I showed Jerry some barrel chairs probably about a month ago or so after I had some. He's like, I need those for my studio. He's like, I gotta talk to the other half though. Like, we'll have a conversation. But
yeah,
we could. I'm gonna tell him what I told you. We could work something out. I'm gonna send you some stuff. I would love to get these into his studio if possible. Well,
oh my God,
I'll fucking hand deliver them to y'all in Nashville.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
You kidding me?
I love furniture. I love woodworking. I love DIY. I love upside. Like, I love, that's my language.
That's exactly who we are. I mean, the more and more I get to talk to you or get to talk to Jerry about things, like the more we're just foundational line. And
like, it's crazy. All my furniture in KC, I literally revamped, painted beautifully, because now there's like if you get the right quality product to like paint or like follow all the steps, sand it and do all the things. Yeah, that's a big passion of mine.
You
so
could
for
do
sure.
some cool
hit
shit.
me up on that. Yeah.
No, I will, because my wife, all the art that you see behind me, this is all my wife. That big ass painting, that's all original.
This one in the back with the gold and the white.
Yep.
Wow. Oh my God, I love her style.
So she's the artistic one. I'm the
she's a painter.
Painter, drawer. She's
oh my God,
like here. Here. I have to real quick.
Okay.
So she does.
Wow, I love these. Oh my God, these leaves.
This is all original work. She's got that. She's got that Buddha right there. I don't know if you can see the Buddha.
Yeah, absolutely love Buddha.
Or like she's one of her niches is very much.
Oh my God, she draws moons too.
Oh, moons and all kinds of shit.
Wow, I'm gonna send you a picture of me and Jerry collabed on a painting.
Please do.
Yeah, we sometimes collab on paintings. That's crazy though. I love your wife. Definitely like put me in touch with her. I'll follow her on Instagram for sure.
No, I definitely will. I appreciate that.
I might need her artisticness for something I'm working on.
She's got a brilliant mind when it comes to that shit. I mean, that's why she's the designer when it comes to our flips. Like, she can see through walls in a way that nobody fucking can. Like, I mean, we literally the first house that we ever did, 3,200 square foot house. We turned it from a 4-bedroom, 3-bath to a 6-bedroom, like 3.5 or 4 bath or some shit.
Oh, she's like a Home Depot girl, like me.
Yes.
I love Home Depot and Lowe's. Yep.
So cool. I got you. I appreciate that. I'm going to send you our website as well. And hey, again, I want to be an asset in the world. That's it. I'm a visionary who wants to take care of my family. I want to be an asset to people and help them win, help them achieve their goals. And if I could ever, do that, like kind of working with Jerry behind the scenes right now, we're here, man. We're just good people that just want to fucking help, man.
Man. That's all
it comes down to.
Yeah,
so
man.
We're locked in.
Because it's like now you travel with people in your life, So it's like, stay in touch. We'll talk. And great interview.
No, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the conversation.
Yes.
Send my love to Jerry as well. Tell him we got to talk, because I got some things I got to talk to him about anyways. But we're locked in as it is. So I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Appreciate you so much.
We'll definitely be getting up soon.
Yes, man.